Imagine waking up one day with a life you never thought possible. Financial freedom, security, and the ability to do what you love every single day. But here's the secret. I didn't get rich by working harder or by being born with a silver spoon in my mouth. No, I got rich when I truly understood something that changed everything. That moment when everything clicked, like flipping a switch in my mind, was when the game changed for me, and I want to share it with you. I got rich when I understood that success doesn't come from chasing money. It comes from mastering your mindset. When you shift your thinking, you shift your reality. I used to believe the world was divided into the rich and the poor, the lucky and the unlucky. I thought it was about who you knew or how many hours you put in. But then, something clicked. I understood that the difference between the wealthy and the struggling isn't just what you know, but how you think. I realized that in order to create wealth, I had to stop focusing on scarcity and start focusing on abundance. I had to learn to think long-term, to take calculated risks, and to invest in myself. And when I did that, I became unstoppable. Wealth isn't just about money. It's about understanding that you have the power to shape your life. Once I understood that my financial situation wasn't dictated by external forces, but by my own actions and mindset, everything started to change. The right mindset is the key. The most profound and transformative realization I had on my journey to wealth was that mindset is the ultimate key to success. Success doesn't just come from what you do on the outside, but how you see the world and approach life on the inside. I used to believe that success was about doing the right things, following a proven path, or just working tirelessly. While all of those factors play a role, what I now understand is that success starts with how you think about yourself, your potential, and the opportunities around you. When I first started, I was caught up in the idea that if I could just find the right strategy or hustle enough hours, I'd eventually get rich. But the truth is, I could have worked myself into the ground without ever achieving the success I longed for. Why? Because my mindset wasn't aligned with success. I thought like someone who was working for survival rather than thriving. I had beliefs that kept me stuck in a cycle of scarcity. I believed that wealth was for others, not for me. That thinking kept me from seeing opportunities that were right in front of me. I kept focusing on limitations and obstacles. But everything changed when I realized that success doesn't just happen. Success is a byproduct of a successful mindset. The rich and successful think differently. They have an abundance mindset, not a scarcity mindset. They see challenges as opportunities to learn and grow, not as roadblocks that stop them from moving forward. When I shifted my mindset, I started seeing opportunities everywhere, places I would have never noticed before. I began thinking bigger, making bolder decisions, and acting with more confidence. The moment I understood that my mindset controlled everything in my life, I was able to begin attracting everything I needed to become wealthy. Mindset is a lens through which we see the world. If you approach life with a lens of scarcity, you'll see limits and roadblocks everywhere. If you approach life with a lens of abundance, you'll see opportunities to grow, create, and prosper. There's always another angle to look at things. There's always a solution to every problem. The wealthy understand this truth deeply, and it's this mindset that allows them to overcome difficulties and rise above challenges that might seem insurmountable to others. We all have limiting beliefs that hold us back. The question is, how much power do you give them? When you're stuck in a mindset that tells you that you can't succeed, that you're not good enough, or that success is for others, you are essentially choosing to remain stuck. The first step to breaking free is recognizing that your thoughts shape your reality. I had to consciously challenge those beliefs and replace them with empowering thoughts that fueled my success. I had to teach myself to stop saying, I can't, and start saying, how can I? What also became apparent is that mindset isn't just about thinking positive thoughts. It's about thinking strategically with purpose and clarity. The wealthy don't simply hope for success. They plan for it. They have a vision of what they want to achieve, and their mindset is what drives them forward to take the necessary actions. They recognize that obstacles are just part of the journey, and that every failure is a lesson to be learned, not a reason to quit. One of the most powerful aspects of a successful mindset is resilience. You can't build wealth or achieve success without facing setbacks, failures, and rejections. What separates the successful from the unsuccessful is how they handle these obstacles. The wealthy don't get discouraged by failure. In fact, they view failure as one step closer to success. They understand that every failure brings them valuable lessons that help refine their approach. When I started viewing failures not as defeats, but as lessons and stepping stones, I was able to move forward faster and more effectively. Mindset is also about self-belief. To get rich, you have to believe that you are worthy of wealth and success. If you don't believe it, nobody else will. It's that simple. The wealthy exude confidence because they know their worth. They trust their abilities and their decisions. And that self-confidence allows them to take risks, make decisions, and act boldly, knowing that even if they fail, they will learn and grow from it. When I began to believe in my own potential, I started taking bigger risks. I stopped hesitating and started making moves that would have previously terrified me. And that's when things started happening. Your mindset is a starting point for everything. It governs how you think about money, opportunity, and the world around you. If you want to change your financial future, you need to change how you think. Focus on growth, abundance, and opportunity. Don't let fear or negativity dictate your actions. The power to create your future lies within you. When you finally recognize this and shift your mindset to one of empowerment, nothing can stop you. Stop chasing money, start chasing value. The moment I realized this truth, everything shifted for me. I had spent so much time focusing on how to make money, working harder, searching for quick wins, trying to maximize every dollar. But the one thing I wasn't doing was focusing on the value I was bringing to the world. You see, wealth doesn't come from chasing money. It comes from creating value and offering something that makes a real difference to others. Most people focus on money because they believe it's the ultimate goal. But money is just a tool. It's an exchange. It's an energy that flows in and out of your life. What really drives the flow of money, what makes it come easily and abundantly, is value. When I shifted my focus from thinking about how much money I could make to how much value I could create, I began to see real, lasting success. Value is what makes people want to invest in you, in your business, or in your ideas. It's what makes people trust you and want to do business with you. Wealthy people don't just look at their products, services, or businesses. They look at how their offerings help solve other people's problems. They are in the business of creating solutions to challenges that people are facing. Think about the greatest businesses and entrepreneurs in the world. People like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, or Oprah Winfrey didn't get rich by just trying to make money. They got rich because they understood that the real currency is the value you give to others. Bezos built Amazon to make people's lives easier by providing products and services at their fingertips. Musk is revolutionizing industries with his electric cars and space exploration because he is creating a future that helps the world evolve. Oprah created an empire by providing inspiration, education, and empowerment. All of these people understand that the money follows when you focus on providing value. Value is what makes you indispensable. When you solve a problem for someone, they want to pay you. When you provide something that makes their life better, they'll support you with their loyalty and their business. The more you focus on giving, the more you will receive in return. But it's not just about giving in a transactional sense. It's about building relationships, establishing trust, and delivering quality consistently. When I started focusing on creating value, I noticed something incredible. The more value I created, the more my income grew. It wasn't a coincidence. The money came, not because I was directly chasing it, but because people were willing to pay for something that made their lives easier, better, or more enjoyable. Money started to flow in ways I hadn't imagined, all because I was committed to delivering value. And as the value I offered grew, so did the opportunities for income. It's a cycle. Provide value, receive compensation, reinvest in creating more value, and the cycle repeats, growing exponentially. The key to understanding this concept is that value is not just about what you do, it's about who you serve. It's about understanding the needs and desires of the people you're aiming to help, and then crafting your solutions to meet those needs. The more you understand your target audience, the better you can serve them. The more you care about solving their problems, the greater the value you create. And in turn, the more successful you become. One of the most powerful things I've learned is that your value is limitless. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, what stage of your career you're at, or how small you think your niche is. If you focus on creating value, you will always find success. The more value you give, the more doors will open for you. The more people you serve, the more opportunities will appear. The truth is, people don't buy things. They buy solutions. They buy transformations. They buy experiences. And they are willing to pay a premium when those solutions, transformations, or experiences are valuable enough. Money follows value. So, if you want to get rich, stop thinking about money. Focus on how you can add more value to the world. Focus on how you can make someone's life easier, better, or more enjoyable. Focus on how you can solve real problems. And the money will come as a natural consequence of the value you provide. Abundance over scarcity. When I first started on my journey to wealth, I thought there was a finite amount of resources in the world. I believed that there was only so much wealth to go around, so many opportunities, and only a few spots for success. I operated with a scarcity mindset. The belief that if someone else succeeded, it took away from my chances. If someone else was wealthy, it meant there was less wealth for me. This belief kept me trapped in a cycle of fear, competition, and limitation. It kept me constantly anxious about running out of time, energy, or money. But everything changed when I shifted to an abundance mindset. I realized that the world isn't a zero-sum game. There is more than enough to go around for everyone. There is more than enough success, wealth, opportunity, and prosperity. Abundance is the key to unlocking limitless potential. When I adopted an abundance mindset, I began to see the world through a different lens. I stopped looking at the competition as a threat. Instead, I saw opportunities to collaborate, to learn from others, and to grow together. I understood that if someone else was succeeding, that wasn't taking away from my potential. It was evidence that success was possible for anyone. Seeing other people succeed wasn't something to be jealous of, but something to be inspired by. The abundance mindset opens doors that a scarcity mindset closes. The wealthy understand this. They see the world as full of opportunities to be seized. They see problems as potential for innovation, not as roadblocks. They understand that there is enough for everyone to thrive, and they actively seek ways to help others succeed. When you approach life with this mindset, you stop thinking in terms of limitations and start thinking in terms of possibilities. An abundance mindset is about more than just financial wealth. It's about believing that there is enough love, success, creativity, and joy in the world for everyone. It's about understanding that no one's success takes away from your own. The wealthiest people don't see others as competitors. They see them as potential partners. They understand that collaboration creates more opportunities, more growth, and more success. For me, the shift from scarcity to abundance was a game changer. I started to invest in others, to give more freely, and to act with the understanding that there is no limit to how much can be achieved. The more I shared, the more came back to me. Abundance isn't just a belief, it's a way of living. It's about acting in ways that are generous, open, and inclusive. When you operate from a place of abundance, you unlock your true potential because you stop fearing loss and start embracing growth. This shift changed everything in my life. Instead of chasing wealth, I started attracting it. Instead of competing with others, I started collaborating. I stopped focusing on the things I didn't have and started focusing on the infinite possibilities that surrounded me. And as a result, the success, opportunities, and wealth I had once dreamed of became a reality. Long-term vision. When I first started my journey to wealth, I was all about short-term wins. I focused on the quick and easy path, hoping that if I could just make a little extra money now, I would eventually figure things out. I thought that success would come from a series of one-off gains, that a quick breakthrough would magically catapult me into financial freedom. But what I didn't realize was that wealth, real, lasting wealth, comes from long-term thinking and vision. A long-term vision is what separates those who achieve lasting success from those who experience fleeting success. Short-term thinking often leads to impulsive decisions, rushed actions, and sacrifices that ultimately don't serve you in the long run. But when you focus on a long-term game, you begin to make decisions with your future self in mind. You prioritize investments that will pay off over time rather than focusing on immediate gratification. And in doing so, you start building the foundation for real wealth. The most successful people in the world, whether they're entrepreneurs, investors, or visionaries, don't look at their current circumstances. They don't measure their success by how much money they have right now. They measure their success by where they're going, by the impact they'll have years down the road. They focus on creating a legacy, on building something that will outlast them. I came to understand that wealth isn't built overnight. It's not about getting rich in a week, a month, or even a year. It's about making strategic decisions that compound over time. Just like compounding interest on money, your efforts, when consistently applied over time, will begin to multiply. The key is to stay focused on a long-term goal and keep taking small, deliberate steps that move you in the direction of your dreams. Having a long-term vision means you can afford to take risks that others won't. When you're thinking about the long run, you're not afraid to fail or make mistakes along the way. You know that each setback is a learning opportunity and that every mistake is a chance to refine your approach. You can take risks because you understand that the road to success is not a straight line. There will be detours, bumps in the road, and challenges. But if you are committed to your vision, those obstacles will only strengthen your resolve and bring you closer to the finish line. One of the best things I ever did was to create a vision board, a clear representation of where I wanted to be in 5, 10, or even 20 years. Looking at that vision every day kept me motivated and focused. It reminded me that the small sacrifices I was making today, whether it was investing time in learning new skills, saving money for a future opportunity, or saying no to instant pleasures, were all worth it because they were leading me to something bigger and more meaningful. What's even more powerful is that when you have a long-term vision, you're able to take the focus off immediate challenges and setbacks. Instead of panicking over a failed project or a temporary loss, You keep your eyes on the bigger picture. Your vision becomes your guide. It becomes a measure by which you decide your actions, your investments, and your goals. It gives you the clarity and strength to navigate difficult times because you know that the struggles you face today are stepping stones to the future you envision. As you build wealth and success over time, your long-term vision will also evolve. You'll gain new insights, learn from experiences, and refine your goals. But the key is to keep that vision alive, to keep moving towards it step by step, no matter how small the progress may seem. In the end, it's that long-term vision that will carry you through. It's the North Star guiding you toward success, even when the road seems unclear. Investing in yourself. There's a simple truth that many people overlook. The best investment you can make is in yourself. For a long time, I focused on external investments, stocks, real estate, businesses, but I never gave enough attention to the most powerful asset I had, my own mind, skills, and capabilities. Once I realized this, everything changed. Investing in myself wasn't just about acquiring more knowledge. It was about building my own potential and maximizing what I was capable of. When you invest in yourself, you are setting the stage for exponential growth. It's not just about learning new skills, though that's part of it. It's about developing your mindset, your resilience, and your ability to innovate. The more you grow as a person, the more value you bring to the world. The wealthiest people understand that they are their greatest asset. They don't wait for opportunities to come to them. They create opportunities by being the best version of themselves. I realized that the key to getting rich wasn't just about finding the right external opportunities. It was about becoming the kind of person who could identify, create, and seize those opportunities. Self-investment allows you to tap into your fullest potential. Whether it's developing new skills, reading books, attending courses, hiring coaches, or simply taking the time to reflect and improve your habits, every investment you make in yourself pays dividends in the future. One of the most powerful forms of self-investment is learning. Knowledge truly is power. The more you know, the more you can do. But it's not just about accumulating information. It's about applying that knowledge in a way that transforms your life. I started reading books, listening to podcasts, attending seminars, and seeking out mentors who could help me expand my thinking and sharpen my skills. Every piece of knowledge I gained was another tool in my toolkit, helping me navigate the challenges that came my way. Investing in yourself also means taking care of your health, your well-being, and your personal growth. Wealth without health is meaningless. If you're constantly burning out, if you're not taking care of your body, mind, and spirit, your wealth will have little value. That's why I made sure to prioritize my health, to meditate, exercise, and take care of my mental state. By investing in myself holistically, I was able to show up every day with the energy, clarity, and focus I needed to create wealth. Self-investment also means learning to be resilient. The path to wealth is rarely smooth, and you will encounter setbacks. But when you invest in your emotional intelligence and resilience, you become better equipped to handle challenges. You become stronger in the face of adversity and more determined to succeed no matter the obstacles in your way. The more you learn to bounce back from failure, the closer you get to achieving your goals. Every time you invest in yourself, whether it's learning something new, improving your health, or developing your emotional intelligence, you are increasing your capacity for success. When you become a high-value individual, the world will begin to recognize you and reward you accordingly. Risk is a tool, not an enemy. For most of my life, I viewed risk as something to be avoided at all costs. I was afraid of making mistakes, of losing money, or of failing. But what I didn't realize was that risk is not the enemy. It's the tool that propels you forward. The richest people in the world aren't afraid to take risks. They understand that the greater the risk, the greater the reward. When I started viewing risk as a tool, my entire approach to opportunities shifted. Instead of seeing risk as something to fear, I started to see it as an essential part of the process of growth. Calculated risk-taking is how you move forward in life. Without risk, there is no reward. Without stepping out of your comfort zone, there is no progress. Most people are conditioned to play it safe, to stay within the lines and avoid the unknown. But the wealthiest people understand that in order to create something extraordinary, you have to be willing to venture into uncharted territory. They take calculated risks, weighing the potential downsides against the potential rewards, and they move forward with confidence. When I adopted this mindset, I became more willing to take bold steps, whether it was in business, investments, or personal development. It's important to remember that not all risks are created equal. Not all risk is blind or reckless. The most successful people don't just take any risk. They take informed, educated risks. They do their homework. They make strategic decisions based on data and intuition. They know that risk is a tool that, when used wisely, can open up incredible opportunities for growth, success, and wealth. Risk also teaches you valuable lessons. When things don't go as planned, you learn how to adapt, how to pivot, and how to make better decisions in the future. Every risk I've taken, whether successful or not, has brought me closer to understanding how the world works, how to navigate uncertainty, and how to manage my resources better. Risk is a great teacher. It's the crucible in which resilience is forged. And the more you embrace risk, the more you learn and grow. The key to mastering risk is understanding that it's an essential ingredient for success. When you learn how to assess and manage risks, you unlock a world of opportunities that would otherwise be inaccessible. And as you become more comfortable with taking calculated risks, you'll find that your potential for success increases exponentially. The power of consistency. One of the biggest lessons I've learned on my journey to wealth is that success is not about brilliance or instant breakthroughs. It's about consistency. I used to think that I needed to come up with a game-changing idea or experience a sudden stroke of luck to become wealthy. I wanted the quick, dramatic success that I saw in others. But what I didn't realize was that the most successful people don't get there through one grand moment. They get there by showing up every single day and doing the work, even when no one is watching. Consistency compounds over time. The efforts you put in today, no matter how small, will add up over time and create exponential results. When I first started, it was easy to get discouraged because the progress seemed slow. I wanted immediate returns, but the reality is that building wealth, like anything we're doing, takes time. The key is to keep moving forward, no matter how small the steps. The small, consistent actions you take every day will create momentum that can eventually lead to massive success. I've seen it in my own life and in the lives of others. The most successful people I know aren't necessarily the smartest or the most talented. They are the ones who keep showing up day in and day out. They don't let setbacks derail them. They don't get discouraged by small failures. They just keep doing the work, knowing that the effort they put in today will pay off in the future. Consistency is a mindset. It's about committing to long-term goals, focusing on daily progress, and being relentless in your pursuit of success. I realized that if I could be consistent in my actions, no matter how tough the journey got, I would eventually see the results I was hoping for. Every action, no matter how small, is an investment in the future. And the more you stay consistent, the closer you get to achieving your dreams. I made consistency my secret weapon. Instead of expecting overnight success, I embrace the idea that success comes from the consistent effort you put in over time. I stopped worrying about the timeline and focused on the process. By staying consistent, I started seeing incremental improvements that eventually led to significant growth. Over time, these small improvements add up to massive results. The power of consistency is that it creates habits. Good habits shape your future. The more consistently you take action toward your goals, the more ingrained those actions become in your daily life. The successful habits you build become automatic, and eventually, they drive your success without you even thinking about it. Consistency also builds resilience. When things aren't going well, or when you feel like giving up, consistency gives you the strength to push through. It's the reminder that success doesn't come from occasional bursts of effort. It comes from daily, relentless pursuit. Consistency is the backbone of your growth. It's what gets you out of bed when you don't feel like it. It's what keeps you going when the journey gets tough. And it's what allows you to maintain the momentum needed to achieve your ultimate goals. Leverage your time and resources. When I first set out to build wealth, I thought that success meant grinding away every single day, working long hours, and pushing myself to the limit. I thought the key was to keep hustling, to keep working harder than everyone else. But what I didn't understand at the time was that success isn't just about working hard. It's about working smart. The true key to wealth is leveraging your time and resources effectively, and learning to work efficiently instead of just endlessly putting in hours. One of the most valuable lessons I learned was that time is your most precious resource. We all have 24 hours in a day, and we all have the same amount of time to get things done. So what separates the wealthy from the average person isn't how hard they work. It's how strategically they use their time. I had to stop thinking of time as something I had to fight against, and instead start thinking of it as something I could leverage. I began to realize that leverage wasn't just about the money I had or didn't have. It was about using my available resources, money, people, skills, and technology, to create bigger outcomes without having to do all the work myself. This is why wealthy people aren't necessarily the hardest workers. They know how to scale their efforts by using leverage. For instance, I started to delegate tasks that I didn't need to be doing. Instead of spending hours doing things I wasn't good at, I hired people who were experts in those areas. This freed up my time to focus on what I did best, like thinking strategically, building relationships, or creating new opportunities. In business, leverage also came in the form of capital. Instead of always relying on my own money to fund every project or idea, I started looking for ways to use other people's money, whether it was through partnerships, investors, or loans. This allowed me to expand faster than if I had only relied on my own savings. The concept of leveraging financial resources is powerful because it enables you to take on bigger projects, scale faster, and seize opportunities that might otherwise be out of reach. Another key resource that I learned to leverage was people. I realized that relationships are one of the most valuable forms of leverage. The more people I knew, the more opportunities one had. Networking and building strong relationships with like-minded individuals, mentors, and potential business partners opened doors that I never would have found on my own. Leveraging relationships means connecting with people who can offer advice, introduce you to new ideas, or provide opportunities that might not be available otherwise. In terms of personal development, leveraging your knowledge and skills is also essential. I invested time and energy into constantly learning and upgrading my skill set, but I didn't just learn for the sake of learning. I learned with the intention of using that knowledge to leverage my success. Leverage is about putting what you've learned into action and using it to create real results. Whether it's learning how to use a new piece of technology or mastering a new business strategy, the more you know, the more you can leverage your expertise to achieve greater success. Technology is another powerful tool for leverage. As I became more familiar with the digital landscape, I realized that technology could help me scale my efforts more efficiently. Whether it was automating certain business processes, using social media to grow my audience, or leveraging data to make smarter decisions, technology allowed me to reach and serve more people without increasing my workload. The ability to use technology as leverage is what separates modern-day entrepreneurs from those in the past. We now have access to tools that can multiply our efforts exponentially, and learning how to use them can give you a significant edge. To truly build wealth, you need to develop a mindset of leverage. You need to stop thinking that everything is about hard work and start thinking about how to work smarter. Use resources more effectively and scale your efforts. When you learn how to leverage your time, your money, your relationships, and your skills, you'll be able to achieve far more than you ever could on your own. Failure is a stepping stone. For much of my life, I avoided failure. I feared it, resented it, and tried my hardest to avoid any situation where failure might be an option. I thought that failure meant I wasn't good enough, that I wasn't capable, or that I'd somehow failed as a person. But as I got deeper into the journey of creating wealth, I realized that failure is not something to be avoided. It's an essential part of success. In fact, failure is one of the most powerful tools for growth that you can have. What changed my perspective was understanding that failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. The most successful people in the world aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who fail repeatedly, but keep going, learning from each experience and refining their approach. Failure is feedback. It's a signal that something isn't working, and it provides you with the opportunity to adjust and improve. Every failure contains within it a lesson, if you're willing to learn from it. One of the key realizations that shifted my mindset was understanding that failure teaches resilience. The more you fail and keep moving forward, the stronger and more capable you become. Failure tests your character. It challenges your resolve. And it's the people who can take failure in stride, learn from it, and continue forward who ultimately succeed. Every failure made me more resilient, and with each setback, I gained more confidence in my ability to recover and come back stronger. The idea of failing forward became a guiding principle for me. Failing forward means using every failure as a stepping stone to move closer to your goals. Instead of viewing failure as a dead end, you see it as an opportunity to course correct. Each time you fail, you get closer to discovering the right path, the right strategy, or the right approach. The road to success is rarely linear, and failure is an inevitable part of the process. But if you can embrace failure, if you can see it as a sign that you're pushing your boundaries, you will become unstoppable. In the business world, I've had many failures. Projects that didn't pan out, investments that didn't work, and decisions that turned out to be wrong. But instead of giving up or beating myself up, I learned from each experience. I adjusted my approach, refined my strategies, and moved on. Failure is a stepping stone because it teaches you how to become better. It forces you to grow, evolve, and adapt to new circumstances. There's a quote that I always remind myself of. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. That's the essence of what failure teaches us. It's not about avoiding it. It's about understanding that failure is just part of the journey, and it's what makes success that much sweeter when it finally comes. When you stop fearing failure and start embracing it, you unlock your potential. You stop letting mistakes define you, and you start using them as stepping stones toward your ultimate goal. Failure is a natural part of the process. It's not the end. It's just the beginning of a new opportunity. Patience and persistence. If there's one thing that's true about building wealth, it's that it doesn't happen overnight. There were times in my journey when I was tempted to give up, when it felt like things were moving at a snail's pace, and when I wondered if it was all worth it. But the moment I realized that wealth requires both patience and persistence, everything changed. Patience is essential because success doesn't happen immediately. When you're trying to build something of value, whether it's a business, an investment portfolio, or a personal brand, it takes time to see results. The key is to stay the course, even when the progress feels slow or invisible. Patience is about trusting the process and believing that the work you're putting in today will pay off in the future. It's about understanding that wealth is a marathon, not a sprint, and that it's the small, consistent actions you take every day that will compound over time and lead to success. But patience alone isn't enough. Persistence is what takes you across the finish line. There were countless times when I faced setbacks, when things didn't go as planned, or when I had to overcome unexpected obstacles. But in those moments, persistence kept me going. Persistence is the ability to keep going when the road gets tough, to continue pushing forward, even when it feels like nothing is happening. One of the greatest gifts you can give yourself is the ability to keep going, even when things get difficult. It's about developing the mental toughness to endure through the tough times, knowing that success is on the other side. Persistence is what separates the dreamers from the doers. It's easy to start something, but it's much harder to keep going when the path is unclear and the rewards are distant. I've learned that wealth isn't just about strategy, intelligence, or luck. It's about sticking with it, no matter how long it takes. It's about being patient enough to wait for the right opportunities and persistent enough to chase them relentlessly. When you combine patience with persistence, you create an unstoppable force. Patience allows you to endure the tough times. Persistence ensures that you never give up. In the end, patience and persistence are what allowed me to achieve the wealth I have today. They gave me the fortitude to keep going, even when it felt like I wasn't making progress. They reminded me that success isn't about quick wins. It's about the long-term commitment to your goals. As I stand before you today, I want you to remember this. Success is not reserved for a select few. It's available to anyone who is willing to understand the deeper principles behind it, who is willing to do the work, and who is willing to trust the process. The journey to wealth is not a straight line. There will be twists, turns, and obstacles that will test your resolve. There will be moments when you'll want to quit, when you'll question everything. But it is in those very moments that you must remind yourself of the principles that lead to success. Patience, persistence, failure, consistency, and leveraging your resources. These are the keys that will unlock your potential. What I've shared with you today isn't just theory. It's something I've lived, something I've applied in my own life. The wealth I've built didn't come from one big breakthrough or a single lucky opportunity. It came from consistently applying the right strategies, embracing failure as a lesson, and leveraging every resource at my disposal. And I want you to know that you can do the same. You don't have to be born into wealth. You don't need to have everything figured out. What you need is a mindset that understands that success doesn't come from luck or chance, but from the daily, deliberate choices you make. You've already taken the first step by learning. The next step is to take action. It won't always be easy, and it won't always be quick, but if you stay consistent, if you leverage your time and resources, and if you embrace failure as part of the journey, there's nothing stopping you from achieving greatness. So, I challenge you today, look at where you are now and then ask yourself, what is the next step I can take toward my success? What is the one thing I can do today that will move me closer to my goals? If you are willing to show up every day, to work smarter, to be persistent when times get tough, and to stay patient through the journey, I promise you this, you will see results. the wealth, the success, the freedom you desire is waiting for you on the other side of your effort. Remember, you are the master of your destiny. The choices you make today will shape your tomorrow. So go out there, apply the principles I've shared, and build the life you've always dreamed of. The road won't always be easy, but it will always be worth it. And when you look back on this moment, you will realize that you got rich not just because of what you gained, but because of who you became along the way. Thank you. And may your journey toward success be as fulfilling as the destination itself.